Hi guys, this is Heidi and you're watching HeidiKMakeup. I am really behind the times on this, but I wanted to film an intro for Pan That Palette 2016, and I am doing the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. I know that Amber F is doing this and a couple other people are doing the Chocolate Bar Palette. I wasn't originally going to do Too Faced because it's a relatively new palette to me. I got it, I think in 2016, maybe it was 2015, I can't remember exactly, but it was relatively new to me. And so I felt like it was a lot of eyeshadow to go through, and Too Faced is my favorite brand, or at least it was my favorite brand, and so I was like, I don't really want to finish some of my favorite stuff. But as some of you guys might know, I am, or I try to be cruelty-free with all of my makeup, and for me, I have always been cruelty-free, not always, but since I started the journey of cruelty-free, I started with brands that were just cruelty-free in general, and I didn't particularly care if they were owned by parent companies that test. As the years have gone on, I've been trying to move out brands from my collection that are owned by testing parent companies, and the vast majority of my collection was Too Faced. In 2016, Too Faced was bought out by a company that does test on animals. So Too Faced doesn't, but their parent company does. So basically, I will never get through all my Too Faced products. I just have too much of it. So some of it I ended up giving away, which is probably good because it would probably be good to give it away anyways because I don't want it to go bad. But that motivated me to say, okay, fine, then I will use Chocolate Bar. This is the only Too Faced palette that I am keeping, and I'm going to just be working on panning it this year. And then the rest of my collection are brands like Pacifica, The Balm, Anastasia Beverly Hills that are, at the time of filming, cruelty-free and not owned by parent companies that test. So I wanted to show you what it looks like. This is actually after a month of use because we are in February now and I never did film an intro, but here is my intro, I guess. Here's what my palette looks like. As you can see, I've got Pan in one of the shades, and that's Marzipan, that really pretty kind of shimmery champagne sort of shade. So some of them have dips in them. White chocolate I've been using since the beginning of the year. Champagne truffle I've been using since the beginning of the year. And then this salted caramel has a dip in it as well, which I've been using since the beginning of the year. And then I hit Pan and Marzipan. And oh, also Cherry Cordial is another one that I've been using since the beginning of the year. Almost all the rest of them are more or less untouched. Those are the shades. This was more or less new to me when I first started. Those are the shades that I have been kind of focusing on. And then once I hit Pan and Marzipan, I started to focus a little bit more on that Champagne Truffle, which is this shade right here. This is hard to do while I'm holding Irene. And then I started dipping into Strawberry Bonbon, Hazelnut, Creme Brulee, which is this gold shade right here, and then, yeah, that's it. Those are the ones that I'm focusing on. So for this month, I want to hit Pan. There are 16 shades in here, and there are 12 months out of the year, so I want to hit Pan in 1 to 2 shades per month. I've hit Pan in 1 shade so far, so I'd like to hit Pan hopefully in Salted Caramel, and make a big dip in that that Champagne Truffle shade. This is really hard to do with a baby. Make a big dip in this shimmery shade up here. Those two I've been working on since the beginning of the year, so I think that there's more likely that I will hit Pan, and then just kind of focus on the other ones. I plan on using the Strawberry Bonbon. In fact, I am, as a blush. It's really light, but what I've done is I've put a cream blush underneath it, and I've started using Champagne Truffle as a face highlight as well, and then Salted Caramel as a bronzer, which is really, it's a pretty warm colored bronzer, but it is what it is. And so we will see what next month brings. This child is being being so distracting. And I look forward to finishing this. I don't know if I want to say I will finish it. I will hit pan in every shade. That's the goal, which is what my goal was last year, which I did, but last year it was like teeny tiny little bits of pan. I want more substantial pan in these shades this year, which I think should be easier because I do like Too Faced, but this isn't my favorite palette by them. It's good, it's just not my favorite. It's my biggest palette by them. That's not even true. It's one of the bigger palettes that I have from them. So we'll see. There's a couple shades that I'm really worried about. Black Forest Truffle is just kind of this glittery mess. Gilded Ganache is just kind of like a muddy color, like it's shimmery in the pan, but on my finger and on my eye, it just does not. I mean, they're pigmented, don't get me wrong. Too Faced has very pigmented shadows, but they're not shades that I would naturally gravitate towards. It's like a really dark olive. It's not going to pick up on my camera, but so there's a couple shades that I'm a little bit nervous about. There's no black in this palette, which is a good or a bad thing. So I'll probably be using Triple Fudge to darken out eyeliner. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've heard some horror stories about people trying to pan this palette, so we're going to see what we do. Anyways, wish me luck, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Bye, guys.